Its energy surrounds us and binds us.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Carbonite Convos Podcast. If this is your first time joining us, you've just taken your first step into a larger world. And like always, if you are a returning visitor or returning listener, thank you so much for joining us once again. This is episode 29 coming at you, being recorded today on March 7th, 2021. And as always, I'm joined by one of my best friends, Alec Porterfield. How are we doing today, bud?
Nicholas, man, I'm doing great. Happy to be here as usual. Excited to get into a really, really exciting episode. We got a lot to talk about, so I'm ready, man.
All right. So before we get into this, let's go into some show notes. So we just had the season finale of a very intense, I wouldn't say action-packed season, but an action-packed episode in WandaVision, episode 9. So we're going to go primarily, the show's going to be wrapping up WandaVision and moving towards the future of the following couple MCU films in Spider-Man No Way Home and Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. So we're going to do a lot of conversation about WandaVision. We're going to break down that episode. It would not be us if we did not talk about some Funko Pops. So
Always got to be in there.
Exactly. There's a big announcement that came out, I believe it was last week, that there is a new line in Alec. What is it? It's an 8-part
series over 16 months.
Yep.
It's weird because it said subscription series, but there's no way to subscribe to it.
Exactly. So we already made the first purchase from it, and we'll go into that later. But it's called Year of the Shield, which is about Captain America's shield, who wields it, what it's brought to the MCU. So we're going to go into that, other merchandise from it, and then we're going to round it off with some Star Wars chatter. And we're just going to be doing a little conversation about Andor and the Kenobi series. There's some rumors going around that Obi-Wan is supposed to make a cameo in 2 episodes of Andor. So, there's a lot to talk about there. But let's just go back to WandaVision because I am eager to talk about it, when it's not 4:00 in the morning.
Right. 100%.
All right. So
that gets a little draining there sometimes, but.
Yeah, you're telling me, man. It's nuts. It's nuts. All right, but before, what are just some initial thoughts from the episode? No questions specifically. What's something that stuck out, or how do you want to start this?
One thing I think I find interesting, not necessarily about the episode in general, but just the show and the series in general. Okay.
Yeah.
It's really interesting to see the fan base. It's extremely similar to Star Wars, and with it, you have people that are on one end or the other for the most part. And I find that to be a good thing because, if you look at successful franchises, there's people that have to argue from each end of the spectrum, and that's what makes it fun, and that's what makes it exciting, and that's what makes it, yes, balance, 100%. And WandaVision has balance. People like it, people hate it, people are confused by it. Your take is very hard on whatever side of the spectrum you are, and again, I find that to be a really good thing for the direction of it.
Oh no, definitely. So, what side are you on when it comes to this episode?
I personally really liked it, and I don't think the reason I liked it wasn't necessarily because of the action in it or the sitcom style of it or anything like that, but I liked the character development that Wanda had.
Yeah,
that's
really?
100% loved it. That's why, and I've said this before, episode 8 of the series was my favorite because we went back in time and saw traumatic events in her life, and I find it interesting to see the events that have led people up to a certain place in time, and the decisions they've made, the things that have happened to them, good or bad, that have ultimately led them to make every single decision they made to be in that exact situation. So it showed what Wanda endured that ultimately led her up to discovering her powers in the first place, volunteering for Hydra, end up going to fight with the Avengers, and then end up meeting Vision, who is her soulmate.
Yeah.
And I find it interesting that chain of events led her to her soulmate, and now after his death.
Yeah, no, 100%. And going off of that, meeting her soulmate, creating her kids, which I think when you look at the episode from my standpoint, it just seemed like the kids went away very, very easily, if that makes sense. Like, it was very emotional, the scene between Vision and Wanda at the end there
Yes.
when he was disappearing. But I didn't feel that really with the kids. I was like, I was watching, I was like, damn, she has to leave her kids. It was still sad, but it didn't have the emotional impact that her leaving Vision had. And I know that that's much different because we know Vision a lot more than the kids, and he means a lot more to us, for the past several years. But still, with those being her kids and those being the reason in the comics she turns bad, I felt like the goodbye didn't hit me as it should have.
Here's the thing: the goodbye to the kids didn't hit you as it should have.
Yeah.
Here's something that might make you think of it a little bit differently. Billy is the one that. Which one? Tommy is the one that can run,
Yeah, and
and Billy
Billy's
Billy has psychic ability.
yeah.
He 100% knew what was happening. Like they tucked him in the bed, like, okay, good, we'll see you in the morning, like, sleep well, whatever. Like, they had no idea what was going on to make it less painful for him, but he can literally like read minds.
Yeah,
So
I don't
he
know. I
had to have
wouldn't
known what they were thinking at the time. Like, I'm sure Vision and Wanda were both, I'm sure, destroyed inside, and he had to have known.
I mean, yeah, possibly. If he did, they didn't do a good job making it known that he knew it.
Maybe he.
Because if they would have showed that, that would if a kid knows that he's about to die, that's a sad thing. That's emotional, and that's if the parent knows they know. I know I've said that a lot in the past 30 seconds. If the parent knows that the kid knows, it makes it that more impactful. So if they would have showed us that, I feel like it would have, done that. But I don't know. There was just something off about the way their relationship in this series ended. For those of you listening, I put some quotes around it, the relationship ending, because we do hear them in the post-credit scene with Wanda in the Darkhold, but we'll get into that. But it seems like everything I've said up to this point was negative, but I loved the episode as a whole. That was just, we got to that point in the conversation, and that part just did not really stick with me. But the episode as a whole, I really enjoyed it.
Sure. The scene with Vision was more emotional. Absolutely, because it was longer, it was more one-on-one, it was in depth, it was like the language they used. To your point about the episode being good overall, I completely agree. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw out the scene with both Visions, and they're
Yeah.
having this conversation. I loved it because I was super surprised that Spectral Vision wasn't completely weaponized at that point. I don't know how he wasn't. He could still freely think on his own, even though he said, my programming is telling me to destroy the Vision and Wanda Maximoff. But when the fake Vision brought up the point, like unlocking the memories or whatever, and Spectral Vision says, I request elaboration.
Mm-hmm.
He went against his programming right there. So he's in his own free mind of
I
thought.
don't
Like,
think that's against his programming. That's just something he doesn't understand. So, he's basically a computer. So the ship of Theseus, that theory is something that he knew. And it took someone or something pointing that out, because his programming, yes, was to kill Vision, kill Wanda. But that is coming from a quote being that knows everything. So when something's presented to him that he doesn't know, I don't think that's going against his programming wanting to find out, if that makes sense.
see, I don't know, because the task at hand, killing Vision and killing Wanda, was top priority. Okay, when a robot or whatever, like, they are programmed to do a certain thing, that is the top priority at all costs. Do this.
Yeah,
Okay.
but dude, I'm gonna compare it to the Mandalorian in IG-11, because his droid was to protect and nurture the child, or
Mhm.
whatever it was. That was his thing. But they say, oh, but if you do that, you can't do whatever it was. It's like, You're correct. The new mission must be me sacrificing the child and me sacrificing myself and placing the child in your care. Is your main mission to protect this child? They say yes. So he learned something that he didn't realize before, and that kind of overwrites it.
No, see, I get what you're saying. I really do. But why I feel like this is true is because, again, compared to IG-11, IG-11's new motivation didn't completely negate the programming that was there before. Okay, the end goal was still to protect the child. Okay, Spectral Vision's main goal was to eliminate Vision and Wanda. Okay, after he was elaborated on this, that completely flipped. Right, it's not because IG-11 sacrificed himself. At the end of the day, he was still protecting and doing his job.
Okay, well, let me ask you this.
You get what you get what I'm saying, though?
I get that. You make a good point, but let me ask you that. Do you think he went to go kill Wanda? Because just because he has those memories now doesn't mean that he's wiped his programming.
I mean, don't you think he would?
Don't
you think if he was going to be on his way to kill Wanda, would he not have gone directly to her after that? After he left that scene?
I don't know. Yeah, good point. I don't know. So, we don't know where he went.
I mean, yeah, we have literally zero idea. He could be on his way to wherever she was in the post-credit scene, but
yeah,
who knows?
Yeah, we'll see.
I doubt that, but we don't know.
Yeah, we'll talk about that a little later because there's still other stuff from the episode that I feel like we should get into.
I also really just fully enjoyed the conversation, the ship at Theseus thing, just like the level of intellectuality between the two.
Intellectuality, is that a word?
I think so.
I'm gonna look it up.
I'm pretty sure.
I'm gonna look it up.
Look it up right now. I want to know if I'm right.
Put you on blast. Intellectuality.
If it's not, I'm dumb. That's fine. No, but just like listening to the two go back and forth, like to be in that room, you probably felt like an idiot.
Okay, you know how if you Google something, it'll come up, it'll just say the definition right there?
Yeah.
It doesn't have one of those, but it takes you to dictionary.com.
Uh-huh.
So that makes me feel like it's one of those words where it's really not a word, but people have used it so much that, okay, this is what they mean. It's the quality or state of being intellectual. But I don't know. I wouldn't count it. I wouldn't count it. Intellectual.
If we were playing Scrabble, it would count.
No way. No way. No way.
I even hit a double word too, so.
Back to the conversation about the ship of Theseus. No, I 100% agree with you because we've seen Vision go through so many of these conversations where he takes the pure path to something, the most analytical path. And in this one, you see him doing it twice with literally his mirrored ethics.
Self-image,
yes.
Like everything.
Yes, his being. And it was just really cool to see the intellectuality between the two. Now, since we're already talking about it, do you think that he and Wanda could have that connection? Because I don't think they can.
I don't think they can either.
I don't think they can.
I feel like something new could form, but it's not the same. You know?
Maybe them not being able to share that connection that her and the real Vision did. Maybe that kind of foreshadows that if they don't have that connection, he doesn't feel like disinclined to have to destroy her if it comes to it. If she plays this big villain, maybe Vision is going to have to fight her. But the main reason why I don't think they can is because their connection came specifically from the Mind Stone. And yes, you can argue that she has the Mind Stone in her because she tells Vision, you are a part of the Mind Stone that's in me. So you can make that argument that she can apply that same theory to this new Vision. But with him not having any of the Mind Stone in him, I just have a hard time believing that they could be the exact same as the original Vision was.
No, they could literally feel each other on like their emotional level, like spiritual level. Like they literally felt each other's pain. They can't do that, and that's what they were built on. And it cannot happen.
No, and it's interesting because Vision says at the end of the episode when they're saying goodbye, they say we've said goodbye, but it's something to this effect. We've said goodbye before, so it begs the reason that we'll say hello again. And that was very emotional. I when I watched it the first time, I was a little, my eyes were a little wet, but when I watched it the second time, knowing what was happening, and after I processed everything, it kind of hit me a little harder.
Yep.
Just seeing Vision go through this again, and Wanda. But what he said stuck with me is he said, "Who knows what I might be next?" After she tells him exactly what he is. She's her hope, pain, piece of the Mind Stone in her, and love. And then he says, "Who knows what I might be next?" So that they don't throw that line in there for
no reason. That's
for no reason.
It's too specific.
But I don't know. They've done that the entire season, and stuff did not pan out in the last episode. Which, after reading a lot about the finale, the show, and everything going on in the world, it seems like COVID played a big part in the way this series ended. Because I
really,
yeah, I've read a lot that there was supposed to be 10 episodes, that because the corona hit right as they were finishing it, that also plays a part into why Darcy only had literally one frame in the entire episode, is because there's supposed to be this whole storyline of Jimmy Woo, Darcy, Monica, and and Ralph Boner. There was supposed to be a whole sequence of events with all of them, and it wasn't able to happen because of the lockdown. So
I did not know that.
Yeah. Well, these are rumors too. Not rumors, but like
speculation.
Actually, not a producer, but a main guy that worked on. I'm sorry, guys, I can't remember his name right now. A main guy that worked on WandaVision came out and said after the fact, he I don't know if it was because of the backlash, but he told everybody that it was supposed to be different. There was supposed to be more, but COVID kind of
that's very unfortunate.
Yeah, and apparently Doctor Strange was supposed to show up. I don't know how true that is, but I don't know. That just means they'll have to
do something else in
multiverse
multiverse
in the future, and they will. I have complete faith in them, because even though this wasn't up to our expectations initially, when you kind of think of what happened in the world to affect it, it's like you can't blame them. They had to do this in a time like no other, so you can't, you have to know that plays a part in it.
For sure. I mean, end of the day, we still got an MCU TV show that was very good and is going to lead to really cool events in the future.
Yeah,
and
dude,
end
we
the
love
day, take that away, we're good.
Yeah, yeah,
we're good.
Exactly.
I just want to talk about real quick the whole TV show thing has completely changed the way that the MCU is going to work, and I love it.
What do you mean the TV? Like just having shows?
Having shows is I love it. I don't want to say I like it better than the movies, but I love the fact you don't have to wait. Like, it's not like you go when it's a one-time thing and you sit there, go for 3 hours, watch a movie, and then you have to wait 2.5 years for the next one.
2.5 years. That's a huge exaggeration. But
whatever. It's you watch the first episode and you got 9 or 10 weeks of it. It's spread out and it's more fun.
No, I get it. I get it. I guess, Marvel has crowned themselves on, yes, working towards a bigger picture, but also having a movie that wraps up a storyline and leaves you satisfied, except for Infinity War, of course. There's always cliffhangers and stuff like that, like questions for the future, but they tell the story, they finish that story, and I really like that. And dude, I'm not complaining about the TV shows at all. I love it. I absolutely love it, because like you said, we just had almost 2.5 months of every week being excited to see this show. And I think what's cool, especially for our generation, the people who do watch it week by week. I'm 24, almost 25. You're 24. When was a time in our mid-teen to adult life where we actually went week by week watching a new show that came out? Granted, I didn't watch Game of Thrones or Walking Dead or anything like that. So
I was going to say, for me, probably Walking Dead was it, but I ended up giving up on that.
Yeah,
after a long time.
In our lifetimes, experience that waiting week by week. We're used to instant gratification. So if we want to watch the whole damn series, we will watch all 25 episodes in 2 days.
Right.
That's what we're used to. So it's interesting changing the pace for us, especially our generation. Again,
Dude, I'm not even gonna lie.
waiting.
On Sunday, my mom and sister hadn't seen it yet, and they wanted to. And
Oh,
we
I know.
watched every episode that day.
Yeah, my roommate, he doesn't watch them week by week, and it pisses me off because I want to talk to him about it. But he's like a binger. He is a binger. I just think it's cool, experiencing that
The eagerness,
yeah,
eagerness of it. Of
the
next,
anxiousness.
oh, we gotta wait till next week. Like,
yeah, it's really cool.
it's
really
really
cool.
fun. It's really fun.
But back to the episode as a whole, let's talk about some theories we have for Agatha, if you've thought about that at all.
Dude, she was put into a weird situation. Like, her evilness is too big to just be gone.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So I mean, she'll be back. I guarantee she'll be back in some capacity.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of stuff, and this is how it might be able to play into Multiverse of Madness. Agatha, her driving force is taking magic from the undeserving. And does that ring true of another character that we've seen? I know
several.
Well, I mean, I only have one in mind in particular.
You talking Thanos?
No.
Or are you talking Ultron?
Neither of them take magic from people.
Sorry.
No, you're
Because who are you thinking of?
No, I want to hear it. You're on the right track.
Caecilius?
No, he doesn't want to take magic from people. He just wanted to join the Dormammu. I'm talking about Mordo. Because remember at the end.
Ooh, that's right. So I was thinking it's more along the lines of big bads.
No. I was just saying people who take magic from someone. We'll edit that, make it a little shorter, people. So by the time you're watching this, that whole process of Alec getting from point A to Mordo, it took longer than what you see on screen and what you're hearing right now.
Don't judge me.
No, it was funny.
But
let's get into it. So Agatha, her driving force is taking magic from the undeserving. She said that. And Mordo, at the end of Doctor Strange, he goes up to this man that used powers from the dark dimension to help him walk because he was paralyzed. At the end, Mordo goes up, somehow just takes the magic from him. He's left there lying on the ground, just completely crippled. So those are
so dumb.
It's evil too.
It's terrible. It's evil.
Well, you can't say that's. I take that back.
No,
I can't say that's evil because
who is to decide if someone deserves it or not?
I don't think it's who deserves. See, I wanted to take it back because I don't think it's evil. I think as a sorcerer,
it's extremist.
No, hold on. As a sorcerer, he's supposed to keep the realm safe. Keep this world safe, not tamper with time and these elements that shouldn't be tampered with. And he sees someone using that. I think he's taking that away because it is what he thinks it's for the better good. He thinks that is a mistake, so he has to correct it. Obviously, who's who to take a life or take something from someone else, but again, like most villains, he thinks he's doing what's right. But that doesn't say that he doesn't take magic from the undeserving, which is a lot like Agatha, which, we could see play out possibly in Multiverse of Madness.
I wonder if there's information like in that library at the Sanctum. Like, is there, it's kind of similar to like a Sith or Jedi holocron? Like, is there something that can guide someone to like the type of person they're looking for?
It's a good question. I'm not sure.
You know what I'm saying?
No, that is a good one. The only thing is the books, because we've seen in Doctor Strange that there was one book missing. We don't know 100% if that's the Darkhold, the Book of the Damned, but we can make
chance though.
Good chance. But you never know. So how that may play out, I don't know. Maybe Mordo goes looking for Wanda. If he does have one of these Marvel sorcerer holocrons, maybe if he does have one, he's trying to find Wanda to, he has some balls to go try to take the Scarlet Witch's power, but maybe that's part of it, and that's where Doctor Strange steps in to help.
Right. I'm sure he's probably educated on her at least. At least know she exists, because if it's this, like, what did she Agatha said there's a whole chapter alone on her, so I'm guaranteed she's mentioned again in other sorcery textbooks and such. So she probably knows about her.
Yeah, most likely, but that's not a given because that was in the Ancient One's private collection that they didn't read, and maybe that was the only thing that spoke of her.
Maybe
That's something that the Ancient One and the other Ancient Ones and all of the Sorcerer Supremes kept from these other, I guess, average Joe sorcerers.
Average. Oh, just the mediocre of the group.
Exactly. I mean, you're as strong as your weakest link.
I wonder if any sorcerers looked on the news and saw Wanda fighting with the Avengers and were like, "Oh, that's some sort of magic," and looked into it from there.
I mean, I'm sure they know who the Avengers are.
Right.
They didn't know who Thanos was, but I'm sure they know who the Avengers are and all that. But I don't know. We're getting into some very like detailed theory crafting on that one. Yeah. So another thing that I thought was interesting that I did a little research on, like as our reaction was uploading, was when Jimmy Woo gets on the phone and says Cliff. I narrowed that down to being one person from Marvel because after I heard that, I just Googled Cliff Marvel and 2 Cliffs popped up and one makes a lot more sense because they wouldn't throw a name like that name in there for no reason. Or
Sure.
You'd think they did it all season, but
yeah.
I don't know. Logically, they wouldn't throw that name in there for no reason. So what I got was Cliff Randall, which he was part of an alien race called the Collective Intelligence. I'll try to keep this as short as possible, but they pretty much lived in a different dimension and another species came and pretty much wiped them out with this weapon. And a big tribe of them escaped to Earth into our dimension. So what they did is they landed on Earth and kind of just blended in. Some of them lived in the mountains to keep it privatized. And then some of them were sleeper agents, which is what Cliff Randall was, where they blend into the population and they're sleeper agents. So at any time when they're flipped, they can do the work of them. So originally they weren't bad, but they soon came to realize that humans were pretty much no different than the race that put them
into extinction.
Exactly. Well, almost. That drove them off the planet. So there was this asteroid that was going to destroy the Earth. And they didn't care if the asteroid collided with Earth because they didn't feel any remorse towards them because they saw them just like the tribe that killed their population. But the impact of the asteroid on Earth was enough to power their weapon to get back to their dimension because they were just waiting until the other species went away. And I guess they were here long enough to where they were going to use this asteroid hitting Earth to power this machine that would generate enough power to get them back to their dimension. But that would destroy the Earth. And apparently, bringing it all back to Cliff Randall, he was part of this species and he was actually a SHIELD agent during all this. And he saw the humans different and he stopped the ship and saved the Earth. But the fact that he was part of the Collective Intelligence, when you think of the FBI, SHIELD, these big...
With the future of how extraterrestrial the MCU is going to be, it's probably very relevant.
Yeah, I don't think they'd throw his name in there for no reason. So that's a quick backstory on who I think Cliff
that
is.
Could be some sort of involvement with Secret Invasion.
Oh, wow. Dude, what if Secret Invasion isn't
Skrulls?
100% the Skrulls? What if it's about these? I mean, that's a lot to introduce, but you never know.
Is it though?
I don't know. While we're talking about Skrulls, how about the fact that we're going to see our girl go up and meet Fury?
It's got to be. It's either Fury or Talos, which it's got to be Fury.
I know I got it wrong. Well, when I was thinking Doctor Strange was going to be in WandaVision, I said, I'm 95% sure. Dude, there is not a doubt in me that this is Nick Fury. 100% I think this is Nick Fury. If it's not, not that I'll be disappointed. I'll just be like, are you serious? Like,
so that would be the first time we saw him hit the real him since Winter Soldier?
We don't know.
Probably.
Maybe.
Like
That's
that?
not confirmed just because he cut his sandwich the wrong way and everything.
Right, but
it's possible, but it could be, yes. But I don't know. The fact that we're getting Secret Invasion that has Fury and now we're going to have Monica going up and meeting Fury because a Skrull relayed the message. I think the future is very bright.
What do you think their involvement with Captain Marvel 2 is going to be?
When does See, I wish I had the schedule in front of me, because you find out which one comes first, which one.
Because I could see Monica being more involved with Captain Marvel 2 rather than Secret Invasion.
Well, I could see her being involved with both.
True.
Now
Yeah.
I could.
Dude, they set her up to be a big character, man.
Definitely. I like her a lot.
I do too.
I like her a lot.
She bad.
Does it kind of make you like Captain Marvel a little less?
Yes.
Because
here's the thing. Okay. Hot take here. Hot subject. People that don't like Captain Marvel can sometimes may not like her just because she's a woman, or just, again, very controversial subject here, but I personally don't like her just because of the character development. Again, the Captain Marvel movie, I love Monica.
Yeah.
I think she's awesome.
Maybe that's because we had we had a few episodes to get to know her. We knew from the first episode that she was someone.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying, because there's no character development of Captain Marvel. There has been character development of Monica. And I don't hate Captain Marvel. She's cool. I find her really cool as well. Too. She's OP. She's just not my favorite. And that's fine. If someone loves her, sweet.
I like Captain Marvel.
That's great. Exactly. But
I enjoyed the movie too.
I really like Monica.
Yeah. What makes me kind of like Captain Marvel a little less is we know some deep and personal stuff about Monica, especially with her mom, because I think we can all kind of compare to losing a loved one. I think we all can. So we found an easy way to connect with her. And now we find out that Captain Marvel, one of the most powerful people we've seen in the MCU up to this point, wasn't there for her during this time. Yes, there was a lot going on. Like she said in Endgame, there's a lot going on everywhere. But the fact that she was not there when her best friend had cancer, from what it seems like, it kind of makes it... We've grown to like Monica so much that we're like, how could you do this to her? What was so important that you weren't there?
Right. Maybe she what?
Maybe, but I don't know.
Well,
because she avoids the topic of Captain Marvel.
She does, but there's no way of knowing if Captain Marvel was there when Maria died, because it was 2 years after. Actually, I don't know.
Well, she wasn't there when the cancer happened.
True.
When the cancer was there,
she could have been there at some point.
Who knows why?
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. End of the day, something happened between the two that was not good for the relationship.
Yeah, definitely.
Something happened.
And that's probably what we're going to see in Captain Marvel.
And there's no way of knowing whose fault it is. But Captain Marvel to me has a little bit of an ego. Versus Monica seems very down to earth and humble. Yeah. So I find it hard to believe that Monica did something to her, because she sees Carol Danvers as her hero. So there's no way. It's literally.
Yes.
So she wouldn't do anything to ruin the relationship. However, a good chance it could be the opposite.
Yeah. No, for sure.
It's also been cool seeing Monica. We literally saw her as a 7-year-old.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. We saw Peter Parker in the Avengers.
Iron
Man. You're right.
Yeah.
At the Stark Expo. You're right.
Wall crawler pops. What are you doing?
I'm off my game today, man. I'm off my game.
I love that.
Anyways, you know what I'm saying though? We see we saw her as a child, knowing she has these big dreams, knowing she has a good heart, good intentions, overall just a good person, and all of a sudden now she just has these powers, and so you can't help but like her.
No, I agree. We had time to grow with her, and I really liked her from the start. She was we knew she was going to be someone from the first time we see her. I saw some other stuff online about the end credit scene. If you're ready to get into one credit scene to the next one.
The first thing I thought was really cool was the fact that her physical form was walking around functioning, and her astral form was operating fully functional as well. Literally, the Sorcerer Supreme, the strongest warlock out there, couldn't do that. She's just doing like literally
Making tea.
whatever she wants.
Contemplating life out on her front porch.
Yeah.
Said it in the reaction as they were zooming up. I got a lot of Thanos vibes. It almost seemed like she was at peace the way Thanos was, finally overlooking a grateful universe. And then you see her walk inside, make some tea, and then the music gets dark. And one thing I'd like to point out about the music is that it is a darker version of the Doctor Strange music.
Really? I didn't notice that.
Yep. I saw someone point that out. It is almost like the Emperor's theme is in Phantom Menace,
Right.
in
Just
Return of
much
the
more
Jedi.
lighthearted.
Yeah. In Return of the Jedi, we hear do 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 do, and then Phantom Menace is do 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 do. So it's it's ominous, which it's foreshadowing. It's very ominous where you don't even know it's happening. That's not the exact same as Doctor Strange. It just kind of compares because Doctor Strange is that heroic tune, and for Wanda in this post-credit scene, they made it very dark. They did almost the same technique, and I don't have a good feeling moving forward.
Do you see her becoming kind of like an anti-hero?
I see her becoming a villain for a little bit. I don't think her character, and this is just me going off of what I know about the comics, the little I know, but what I know about the MCU, they can't not make Wanda a Vision. The two words just collide in my head. They can't not make Wanda a villain right now. Well, or at any point, because that was such a main part of her story in the comics. So I don't think she's going to stay a villain. I think she will become a villain for a little bit and then be redeemed. But I don't have a good feeling about it, especially reading untrained without
without knowledge of the consequences.
Yeah, without knowledge of that, because Mordo, Wong, they were able to stop Stephen Strange from doing a lot of stuff. So she doesn't have that person that says, just make sure you know what you're doing. Not don't do that, but make sure you know the repercussions of it. She doesn't have someone in her ear telling her that. She's just going into it. And on top of that, you hear the kids' voices screaming, "Mom, help." And it just ends with a red flash on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
So you just wonder that goes very close along the lines of her kids are in trouble and she will do anything to save them.
For sure.
It's pretty crazy. So all right. So we went over Wanda and the Darkhold. We pretty much did the whole spectral anti-vision thing a little earlier. We went over the end credits. So going back to that scene about Vision and anti-vision, whatever you want to call him, what's interesting about that conversation and how it ends is, he becomes even more sentient than he was, but he flies off and we don't see him. Now, what we have to remember is that WandaVision is only 3 weeks after Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
So this Vision is fresh off into the world after one of the pretty much the most crucial turning point in the history of the universe, arguably one of them. So he's off. And then Spider-Man Far From Home happens 8 months after. So we already have a piece of MCU media that has happened after the events of WandaVision. And it doesn't seem like it's affected anything that much.
Right.
So, after all this, Anti-Vision is out in the world. He's out there, but we didn't get a reference of him in Spider-Man Far From Home.
No, the world still thinks he's dead.
Maybe. Do they?
So do you remember at the very beginning of Far From Home, they're in the school and like on the announcement, it's like what's the song? Yeah. And it's a
Wait,
montage.
is that the one?
It's it's the
Oh, yeah, it
montage
is.
of Tony, Cap, and Vision and
Dude,
Black Widow.
That is a fantastic point. That's a fantastic point. They think he's dead.
Yep.
I think that confirms it. Wow. I was going to go the whole, who knows how long with thinking maybe they don't know he's dead.
Right.
Yeah, but I think that confirmed it.
So he's out there in the world just doing his own thing at this point.
Who knows? Who knows what he's doing? But so is Wanda.
Dude, I just don't want to see him become a weapon, man. Like that.
A weapon for evil or for
anybody.
I don't think. Do you think Vision was a weapon?
That's what he's designed to be.
Yes, but do you think that after Vision became Vision in Age of Ultron, do you think he was used as a weapon?
No,
Okay.
but he very like
He
this
very
new
well
one.
could
He
be.
very well could become one because he's not Vision. He doesn't have the Mind Stone, which I feel like the Mind Stone was a lot of what made him like worthy of lifting Thor's hammer and all those sort of things. Not the entire reason, but a good chunk of it. He doesn't have that now, so I don't know. Is his moral compass even the same anymore?
I think it would be.
I don't know.
I don't. You're right. We don't know, but he has those memories from Vision, so he pretty much knows that he's made for. Well, let's go back. What was he created?
He's not made for good things.
No. I'm talking about the original Vision because he is still part of the original Vision, and now he has those memories.
He knows he was designed to become Ultron.
Exactly, and then Thor pops in, basically just lights the
spark.
Yeah, pretty much as Cap says, light the son of a bitch up.
Yep.
Is that what he says?
Not then.
No, not right then. No,
Oh,
I was just
yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
He didn't want him to light it up.
No one did.
No, exactly. So yeah, we have no clue where he is, but it's just interesting that we have a piece of Marvel media after this, and maybe we need to watch it again. But at first glance, there was nothing from it. Watch us watch it now, and see. Holy crap!
It's the first minute of the movie.
But I'm not talking about like the school announcement. I'm seeing if there's there any other hints at the series as a whole, is what I mean.
Yeah, we should go back and check it out.
We should. All right. Well, that's moving in from, Spider-Man Far From Home, we have No Way Home, which is confirmed for Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange is confirmed to be in No Way Home. And then we have Doctor Strange 2 Multiverse of Madness, where we have Wanda confirmed to be in it. So there's a lot of room for interpretation there, but there's a link. It's a triangle, man. It all connects. So you just wonder if at one point it all converges with Peter, Strange, and Wanda.
I hope so.
I
really hope so. That'd be sick. I mean, that's where we gotta get the crossovers. We thought it was gonna happen to Wanda, it didn't.
Yeah, well, the timeline matters. The timeline being, Doctor Strange 2 coming after Spider-Man, because that's a big gap. So who knows if Wanda's going to show up in that?
Right.
So I don't know. We never know.
Nope.
Is there anything you have to say about Spider-Man before we get into Year of the Shield?
Nah, man, we got into it a lot last week, so
yeah, no, for sure. All right, so let's talk Year of the Shield. Sorry for hitting my mic, everybody. Let's talk Year of the Shield. I'm super hype about this for obvious reasons, because I remember we found out, I got a notification midday, I think it was like a Wednesday, of a pop. And that was Bucky. Well, not even Bucky. Winter Soldier with his mask, long hair, holding Cap's shield.
No, we found out at the same time, but we saw it on Instagram, and I sent it to you, and I called you right away, and we were both like,
well, I didn't get on the phone.
No,
I was at work.
We talked later.
Dude, I literally.
Oh, that's right.
That's what I got a text. You said check it. I was like, I checked it really quick. Within 1 minute, I put my phone down. I was like, holy crap! But I had to go back to.
This is awesome.
I know.
We were really like, cool. We got to get pre-orders in right now.
Exactly.
Anyways, so this is announced as an 8-part Funko Pop series spread over 16 months.
Wait. I'm sorry. Did you?
Oh, maybe it's not Funko Pops.
Yeah, because I didn't think it's when you read the announcement that night. You didn't say that it was an 8-part Funko Pop series. You said an 8-part series.
I thought it was Pops.
I don't see why it wouldn't be, but it probably is, but that's not 100% confirmed.
But I just find it weird that it's an 8-part series over 16 months when this is the year of the Shield. I don't know if they just wanted to spread it out longer or needed to get more in there, but I don't know. Excuse me. No, but it's all revolving around characters who had held the shield at some point. That That little.
It's spinning right now for those of you who can't tell. Can you even tell?
Not one bit.
Yeah, it's spinning right now. It's a little fidget spinner. Here. All right. I'll put that up.
Yeah, just put that.
I'll put that up. Yep. Year of the Shield. Year of the Shield.
Year of the
For those
Shield.
of you who can't see, I
I
embarrassingly dropped it into the mic. I'm sure you heard it. But yeah, Year of the Shield. If it is an 8-part Funko Pop series, let's just get into it. What are these 8 pops going to be?
Okay. Well,
I have a few.
we got Old Man Cap for sure.
I have exactly 8. I made this before I knew it was an 8-part thing, and I have exactly 8.
Just read them off because this list was collaborated on by both of us.
No, this, yes, a little bit. I have the more extreme ones. So the first one we thought of was old Cap sitting on the bench, kind of with the shield next to him
in the leather like backpack case thing.
Yep. Then we have Falcon actually holding the shield at the end of Endgame.
Mm-hmm.
We have Howard Stark in the first Avenger. Now, I don't know. Maybe I think he might have held it for a second, but I don't exactly remember.
I think I could be remember this wrong. I think when he went to hand him, when Cap saw it the first time, he goes, "What is that?"
And well, that's he picked it up out of a bin, like on the floor or on the second level. He said, "What's this one?" And he just picks it up.
Mm-hmm.
Then he goes,
that's vibranium. That's all we got.
But either way, they're not 100%. Accurate on everything.
It would be silver. It wouldn't be painted. Probably
it would be this 100%. It would be the silver one, and they're not always accurate because the Bucky one is him holding the shield regular, and he never does that. Mm-hmm. He holds it like out because he catches. Wow, that's a cool angle. He holds it out because he catches the shield. But moving on, I thought this one was a pretty cool one from the first Avengers. We have Cap before he was. Captain America, when he was Steve Rogers, he was a scrawny little guy. When he was in the alley, he used a trash can lid as a shield. So I kind of am picturing this line as in the development of the shield. I think kind of the ideology behind Captain America and behind the shield, what it represents. And I think that garbage can, that's the first time we see him use a shield. I think that's pretty cool.
It's a monumentous occasion.
Exactly. And then Cap with same movie, he's shirtless and he has the Cap door, the yellow one. When the Hydra agent has the kid and he shoots at him, he has the yellow Cap door. I thought that was super cool. Then we have Captain America from the first Avenger in that same Stark scene holding that original silver shield. Mm-hmm. And then finally we have Cap on his motorcycle with his shield.
With it in front.
Exactly. And we came up with a couple more because they need to have a scene of Cap on Cap in Endgame fighting each other. But getting more realistic is the fact that I read somewhere that it's showcasing different characters that held the shield. Yeah.
I was going to say Spidey, but we got the one from Civil War already.
That's what I'm confused about is most of the people who have held the shield,
Black Widow.
They already have a pop.
One.
Black Widow, excuse me, I have the hiccups. Black Widow, Spidey, they already have a pop with the shield, and I'll be really pissed if for an event like this they just remake those 2 pops. I do not want that.
Right.
I partially see them maybe doing Spidey because he does come in the pack with Hawkeye and
And 2 minis.
Yeah, 2 minis. So maybe not everybody wants that. Maybe some people want just Spidey with the shield without having to get the others. But I don't know. For the series' sake, I don't think that would be a good idea.
I agree. I'm right there with you.
Do you have any others of who else has held the shield?
Again, this is a Spidey one, but it's not the shield. But I was so disappointed when they didn't make one of him using the Tower Bridge sign as a shield in Far From Home.
Oh yeah,
I wanted that really bad, but that won't happen.
No way. There's been a lot stupider pops though.
There has. Maybe Iron Man giving Cap the shield back in Endgame.
That's a good one. I
don't have one for everybody.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anybody else who actually held it, and if they did make that Tony handing it to Cap, I could see it a lot like the Jim Lee pops from DC.
Mm-hmm.
It's not necessarily a scene, or at least I hope
it's not a scene. Right.
Like, make it littler so we don't have to pay $30 for it. Make it $17 pop, $17.99, because I'd buy that
Right.
2-person little pop.
Sure.
So what else do you think could come out for Year of the Shield?
I mean, obviously, dude, any merch can. I feel like, I don't know, man. I honestly, I genuinely have no idea. They could do whatever they wanted, and I feel like fans would be pretty happy. I know you'd probably invest in some of it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I'd like a nice statue of Cap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I already have the shield hanging up on the wall, but I could see them maybe re-releasing another Year of the Shield version, because they have 2 versions already. They have the regular Marvel Legends shield, and this is in the same Marvel Legends series, but then they have a Captain America 75th anniversary edition, which is the same shield, just a different logo on the box.
Mm.
So they just re-release it. So I could see them doing that, making a Year of the shield. Other than that, I don't have any too crazy ideas other than shirts or something like that.
Sure.
Would you get a shirt with that sticker on it? Because that's a cool sticker. I might get a hat if they
Why
made
not?
hats.
Why not?
No, definitely. Definitely. So what do you think? Should we move into Star Wars?
Little Kenobi action.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
So the main thing that we want to talk about is that there have been a lot of rumors of Obi-Wan showing up in Andor. What are your thoughts on that?
Why not? I mean,
Quick and to the point. I like it. Why not?
So let's just. I'm just kind of drawing a blank on it right now. Like, where exactly we don't know when Andor would take place in the timeline yet.
No, we just know that K2SO isn't in it. So it might. I think it would be a significant a time before Rogue One, but I don't think that's.
I'm sure
stated yet.
Which would put. So, like, realistically, what you think it could fall after Revenge of the Sith? Still,
Yeah,
it'd have to, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It doesn't have to, but with Obi-Wan's age, I feel like it would be.
Most likely.
If I'm being completely honest, the only way I see it happening, and I'm not a writer, a producer, I don't write this stuff. They're much more creative than I am, but the only one that I can imagine right now is if Cassian has to go to Tatooine for some reason.
I was thinking the same thing.
Maybe something along those lines, and Obi-Wan is there. Now, I wonder if let's say this does happen, will it be a little cameo or will he be in the 2 episodes?
Dude, I would hope it would be something like kind of smaller, like Cassian for some reason gets brought to Tatooine and he goes to the cantina or whatever, and Obi-Wan's just chilling in there like a normal citizen, like a normal person, and Cassian just sits down at the bar next to him and asks, maybe he's looking for something, or maybe he's he's got to be there for a specific reason, and Obi-Wan could help him reach his goal or whatever, but like never really let him know he's a Jedi.
See, I don't see, I see that partially because the main thing about Obi-Wan is he was a hermit on Tatooine. He did not go into town much. So the times he did, people gave him that look like there's the town hermit. There's the hermit of Tatooine that lives out beyond the Dune Sea, was it? Wow, I hope I'm right. That lives out in the middle of the Tatooine desert. I could only see if they cross paths at the exact time, like Obi-Wan has to come into town for something and Cassian's tracking someone down, trying to get some information.
Or maybe a crash landing, like
that'd be, I don't know. If Cassian crash lands near Obi-Wan's hut, I feel like that'd be a little too very serious. But I like your idea of Obi-Wan helping Cassian and not really giving him the impression that he's a Jedi and not letting that come out.
Maybe he offers him some sort of wisdom or something.
Just guides him. Just guides him. Because I'm sure he's aware. Maybe he's aware of the rebellion. Is Ben aware of the rebellion?
I don't know.
Yeah, he has to be because Leia reaches out to him.
True. That's a good point.
But another rumor is about George Lucas. It's been heavily rumored that he is coming back to produce 2 episodes of Andor. I don't know. I haven't seen any real validity to this, but again, we're not here to confirm or deny anything. I think we pride ourselves on taking these ideas and just seeing what could happen,
Right.
So if I'm making my best guess, if George Lucas comes back to produce and make 2 episodes of Andor, and Kenobi is rumored to be in 2 episodes of it, I would have to imagine that he'd be making those episodes.
Yeah, it's with it being 2 episodes here and 2 episodes there, like that's a pretty big coincidence.
Yeah. And I feel like it's his character, and
It's his character. That's what I was about to say. Like they might just be literally giving him. You said produce, right?
I think, yeah, produce and
Probably.
direct maybe.
I don't know. And honestly, I don't even necessarily. I can't even say what the influence would be if he was the producer, how much he'd actually say on the entire episode as a whole. But he might just have some say over what happens with his scenes.
Yeah, but I mean, he kind of already has that because remember, well, not that, but remember when we were talking to Emily Swallow, who plays the armor on
Mm-hmm.
in Mandalorian, when we were talking to her, she told us about the time George Lucas came to set and how it was like he was holding court and everybody was listening to him like he's a preacher, which, he's not a preacher, but he started this whole thing. So regardless of what's in the media, between Kathleen Kennedy, all of the politics of Star Wars, Disney, and George Lucas, when he comes to the set, Dave Filoni, Jon Favreau, everybody in there knows that he is pretty much the crown jewel of Star Wars. He thunk all of this up. He thought all of this up, and he's the creator of this universe. You know what I mean? He's the creator. Mm-hmm. So they respect his opinions, regardless of the fact that he doesn't really have any say in the stories or the business as a whole. When he comes on set and tells someone, your character is like this, especially someone who is around when he created him. If he says, this is how this character is, this is how this moral dilemma, think of it this way, people respect that because he knows better than anybody what is right for Star Wars and what is right for the story,
Absolutely. Like he birthed these characters. He knows who they are. He knows the decisions that these characters would make in a situation. And if someone were to negate him and say, no, you're wrong, then they're just an idiot.
Definitely. So I don't know. I'm really excited for it, though. Either way, I don't expect Obi-Wan to show up. But if he does, if it's anything like,
I'll take it.
Yeah. If it's anything like Luke, which I doubt it will be, I'm sure I'll be insanely happy to see him, and we will be right there reacting to it.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. So, before we let the people go, is there, anything new you have coming up on, plan for Instagram, TikTok, any personal ideas you have?
No, if anyone's interested, we started the podcast TikTok, so we're getting that rolling, and we kind of just, spread out moments of the podcast that we thought were really interesting. So, we spread it out over the week. So if you want to tune in or don't necessarily quite have the time, you can tune in on there and just kind of see the major key
Some
points
quick clips
of the podcast. And then if you're interested in it, you can always come back to the YouTube channel and check it out. So we got that going, as well as the reaction stuff will be up there too. So that's freshly birthed. So that'll continue to grow as well. So you guys want to go check it out?
What about personal, like any like stuff you got planned with your collection to do on, to showcase?
Well, okay. So I don't know if people watch on YouTube. The past about month, I've had a big empty section behind me, just because I've these Miles Morales Funko Pops. I had made space for them, and they took a little longer to ship than I expected. But now I got almost all of them in, so you can take a look here real quick. This little section right behind me, it's not set in stone yet. I'm still working it around a little bit. I'm still waiting on 2 more to ship.
It's a little. We can't 100% tell what it is. This section is.
Oh, so this section in general is all the Funko Pops of all the available Funko Pops of playable suits in the video game series.
Yeah.
So that's
dope.
It's not, the order isn't completely set in stone. I'm still waiting on 2 more pops to ship of the Miles shipment from GameStop. I think those will be here. I'm not sure. It could be any day. Once I get all those in, I'm doing a video of them together. So
GameStop. I will never pre-order common pops from GameStop ever again.
Nick had a very bad experience.
I will never pre-order common Funko Pops from GameStop ever again. The only thing I will buy is if it's a GameStop exclusive or
Sure.
like one of the Legend series, because they do incredible deals on like replicas and stuff like that. But I am never getting I'd rather get my video games at Walmart or Target now than give them money. Like they have handled customer service so absolutely piss poor, but I'm not going to get into a rant session about games.
We're not here to bash GameStop.
Yeah.
We're here, especially with all the controversy around them as a company the last like 2 months. So
You'd think they'd be wanting to keep their customers happy, though.
right.
I don't know.
That's a hot
I don't
take. So
know.
yeah, once I get
Yeah.
all those in, expect like a little tour video of them because I'm super pumped about it. I threw a thing up on TikTok. If you want to see them, go check that out. But once those are all in, expect a video.
Sounds good. And it's pretty much every day I think of something new to put on TikTok, whether it be something funny or just something highlighting something in the collection. So if you want to see more in-depth look at all this plastic behind me, follow us on TikTok. You can follow me on anything at Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Funko Stud, and you can find Alec at Wallcrawler Pops. Before we let you guys go, though, be on the lookout for those videos, but also be on the lookout for our reactions to episode 3 and 4 of Marvel Legends. This is coming out Wednesday, so they will be out by Thursday and Friday. So if you're watching this Thursday, Friday, or after, they are out. So definitely go check those out. It's about Falcon and Winter Soldier, preparing for Falcon Winter Soldier next week. How pumped are you?
Dude, we don't even have a minute to stop and think about Wanda. They're already giving us more awesome content.
I know.
So
It's content. They're giving us nice content.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Don't make fun of me.
But yeah,
don't be mean.
Yeah, it's going to be super. I'm sorry. It's going to be super exciting now. But guys, thank you again for joining us for episode 29 of the podcast. We love getting on here and just BSing about Star Wars and Marvel, but we couldn't do this without you guys. We have some announcements coming up about YouTube as a whole, and we're going to be starting some other stuff that we're really excited to interact with you guys more and just bring this channel to the next level. But until all that stuff, guys, like always, may the Force be with you. That was perfectly in sync. I'll end it on that one. All right. I will stop this now.
Remember, the Force will be with you. Always.